Congratulations on purchasing your new SpaceJump Trampoline. Hours of outdoor fun await for you and your family. Assembly of your trampoline should take no longer than 2 hours and can be performed easily with 2 persons. To prepare for assembly, unpackage the 3 boxes and lay out the contents. Check your parts against the parts list found in the assembly manual. Note that different size models will have a different number of parts. In this video, we're installing the SpaceJump 14-foot trampoline. To begin, lay out the top rail pieces on the ground, holes side up to form a circle. Next, lay out the T-section pieces in between each joint of the top rail. These will be used to connect the top rail together. Choose any starting point and connect 2 top rail pieces together using a T-section. Note that the skinny pole on the T-section should sit above the top rail and point outwards from the centre of the trampoline. If required, a plastic mallet can be used to assist the T-section onto the top rail. Proceed to connect the remaining T-sections to form the top rail into a fully joined circle. Next, gather together 1 foot piece and 2 legs. Lay them out on the ground with all 4 yellow stickers face up. Connect the legs to the foot, joining the 2 yellow stickers together. Then secure using the bolts, nuts and washers. Be sure to feed the bolt up through the hole from the underside. This will keep the nut out of harm's way. Lightly tighten with the wrench, as the wiggle room will be useful when connecting the completed feet to the top rail. Continue forming the trampoline feet by connecting the rest of the legs into the foot pieces. Connect one of the feet to any 2 T-sections and ensure that the curve of the leg shapes outwards from the trampoline, not inwards. Fix together using bolts, nuts and washers. Note that the nut should sit on the inside of the trampoline for a safer and tidier look. Repeat the 2 previous steps and attach all of the completed feet to the trampoline. The entrance into the trampoline will fall between 2 of the feet. Consider this, as you may want to rotate the frame at this stage of the build if your entrance needs to face a certain direction. Unfold the jump mat and place it on the ground, logo side up. Then neatly lay the safety net over the top of the jump mat. Arrange the safety net so that the zip lines up with the base of the logo on the safety pad. Attach them together by feeding the metal D-rings up through the elastic loops as shown. Begin at the zip and work your way around the edge, being careful not to miss one as you go. Drag the joined jump mat and safety net inside the trampoline and position the zip to face your desired entrance between 2 of the feet. Next, place all of the springs into the top rail. To connect the jump mat and safety net to the springs, find the middle spring on the entrance section of the top rail and unhook it. Place the looped end of the spring into the D-ring and reattach the spring to the frame using the spring tool. The springs need to be attached in a specific order to avoid uneven stress on the mat. Different sized trampolines will have a different attachment order as shown here. For the 14-foot model, connect the first spring, then count 9 springs to the right and connect the next. Continue this method until you return to where you began. Repeat this process by moving on to the adjacent spring until you're finished. Lay the safety pad on top of the springs so that the blue section with the logo aligns with the designated entrance to your trampoline. To attach the safety pad to the frame, reveal the spring loop on the underside of the pads near each T-section piece. Unhook one of the springs next to the T-section and feed it back up through the loop before reconnecting to the top rail. Now feed the top of the T-section piece up through the hole provided in the safety pad. Multiple ties are included around the edge of the safety pad for extra security. Simply tie a double knot around the top rail to secure. Repeat these 2 steps for the remaining spring loops. Next, connect an upper net pole to a lower net pole and click into place as shown. Take a PVC cover and slip it over the net pole. Tighten the drawstring so it sits just below the pole cap. Pull up the bottom of the sleeve to reveal the button clips and use these to connect into the top of the T-section. The net poles must curve inwards towards the trampoline. Repeat the steps and attach all net poles to the trampoline T-sections. Separate the fiberglass rods into 2 even piles. Note that 15-foot trampolines will have a pile of 8 and a pile of 7 rods. Some models will come with an elastic cord pre-fed through the fiberglass rods, separating the piles for you. Starting anywhere on the safety net, begin by feeding the fiberglass rod through a sleeve found at the top of the net, followed by a rod connector. Continue this process, feeding the rods through the sleeves in the same direction with the help of a second person. Return to the starting point and repeat the previous step, feeding the rods through the sleeves in the opposite direction. Now have one person stand at each opposite side of the trampoline, holding the rods. Keep the rods flat against the tramp and push them gently towards the middle of the tramp to form them into a circle. Join the rods into their connectors one side at a time. Climb into the middle of the tramp and lift up each section of the safety net to connect it onto the pole cap at the top of the net pole. In the middle section of a trampoline foot, wrap the D-ring strap around the bar so that both the D-rings face the outside of the trampoline. Thread an anchor peg down through both of the D-rings and press down and turn clockwise to puncture the ground. Continue pressing down firmly while turning the anchor peg clockwise. Drive the peg into the ground until no coils remain visible. Repeat the process moving around the trampoline, installing one gravity anchor peg per foot. Attach the ladder by lifting back the safety pad and hooking it over the top rail. Awesome! Your brand new SpaceJump trampoline is all set up. If you've got any of our great accessories, you can move on to installing those. Otherwise, you're free to blast off.